Hello, welcome to the Software Design Document or SDD review for SEP AI3 by Yuanjing Zhao. Our SDD currently contains a context model which shows the external data sources and systems that our system will be interacting with. We have a semantic data model which shows how our data will be stored in databases. And we have a user interface overview written in natural language and a user interface wireframe which visually depicts what our final user interface would look like. I will now discuss our SDD with regards to organization and completeness. So first, with regards to explaining diagrammatic material. Our context model's components are clearly described in natural language, and our data model is quite self-explanatory. However, our user interface wireframe should have more labeling to show how its different components correlate to different parts of the user interface overview. Design decisions have not been documented explicitly nor motivated. There is no discussion on why one component design or system architecture has been chosen over alternatives. We have also not performed nor documented any evaluation of the software architecture. I will now discuss our SDD with regards to software design. So our SDD currently does not provide any explicit description of the overall system architecture, nor does it formally evaluate or justify the extent to which the implied architecture realizes the user requirements. However, the data model, features of the user interface, and components of the context model are all described in terms of user requirements. For high-level software design activities, we use a shared software design document hosted on Google Drive. We have not identified the resources necessary to perform more specialized and low-level design activities. For example, the tools we might need to create UML diagrams. Software structure has not been identified using a documented design methodology, nor have we formally documented at all the process by which we've identified our software structure. System design entities, inputs, and outputs have not been derived from the software structure, but have been derived from user requirements and a mock-up of the user interface provided to us by our clients. We have not constructed a logical data model which describes the system's data flow. Our current priority is to prototype our user interface, i.e. the front end, before designing or implementing the back-end data pipelines. A self-contained repository architecture is implied by our user interface and context model. However, we have not created any detailed low-level specifications of the software, database, and data communication structures. The document contains a semantic data model, but this has not been translated yet into a physical data model. There is, again, no explicit documentation on the software architecture, but all user requirements are covered in the user interface overview. In implementing such an user interface, we expect to satisfy all our current client requirements. Our SDD provides high-level models, i.e. the context model and the user interface wireframe, on software context and functionality. However, none of these have been translated into formal architectural views, and we do not have any process models, any data flow models, or any object models. Alternative architectures have not been considered. Our project is small and self-contained, and we plan on using a repository architecture, although this has not been formally documented, because we believe such an architecture will allow us to meet our present user requirements most directly. Non-functional requirements have been considered, but have not been documented. The client has expressed no high requirements on software usability nor on the accuracy of our natural language processing functionalities. Therefore, we are at the moment aiming for basic usability. Relevant or likely changes in requirements have not been documented nor considered. Thus, the flexibility of the architecture nor its ability to cope with requirement changes can be demonstrated. We have not yet created any system modules nor documented functional design entities. However, functional design entities are implied by our use of different user interface components to address different user requirements. Any changes made to the system design baseline are made with consultation of all group members, and the effects of such changes will be carefully considered. Finally, we have not performed any periodic reviews of system design activities. That concludes the SDD review. Thank you.